Hey guys, welcome back to the FX B2B strategy course. This is part 2. In part 1, we'll go to look at the introduction. In this video, we'll get to look at the strategies that we use under the FX B2B Trading Academy, right? So you might want to take a pen and paper for this one so you can take down notes and all that, right? So yeah, the last lesson we learned about trend lines, right? So we'll start with the trend line strategy. So under the trend line strategy, we have channels, which is the rising wedge and the falling wedge. I love to trade these two guys because I feel like they give maximum profits. So I love these two. If you've been watching my videos on YouTube, you will notice to say I always trade rising wedges and falling wedges in most of my videos, right? So yeah, and then we also get to look at the ascending triangle and descending triangle. After that, we'll get to look at market structure in the next lesson. We'll also look at smart money concepts, right? So these are the strategies that we're going to be using under the FX B2B strategy, right? And then I'll get to show you how you can combine all this, right? Like how you can combine the trend line strategy with smart money for you to get some accurate entries, right? So yeah, let's get straight into it. So yeah, guys, as you can see, I'm in a trade right now. So I want to show you saying you need all these three concepts I just talked about for you to actually learn the FX B2B strategy, right? As you can see here, I used all three concepts in order for me to catch this entry right here, right? As you can see, I had my trend lines here, which was a rising wedge. I had market structure, which was the heads and shoulders here, and I had smart money concept, which was order block here. For me to catch this sniper entry you're seeing here, I use smart money concept. So you have to learn all these three concepts in order for you to start catching very good sniper entries, right? With the FX B2B strategy. So yeah, I'm gonna be teaching you all that. All you have to do is just pay attention and then learn, guys. After you learn, you have to practice. I can't lie to you, like you have to practice in order for you to actually start spotting these trades, right? Let me show you how much we're making, by the way, with this sniper entry. Look, this is a very small account, $9 account, and we're up 50 USD. As you can see, let me show you another account. This one we up 55 USD, a $30 account. With this one, I caught it a bit late. As you can see, I caught the second entries there. I have another account which is a $10 account. With this one, we're up 53 USD. So yeah, guys, I'm gonna be showing you how you can catch entries like this in order for you to fully capitalize on this trading thing, right? So yeah, let's get straight into it. So yeah, guys, as you can see, this is my trading view. I just want to show you a quick illustration of how a channel looks like, right? So we have a rising wedge. Um, Let me just show you. So a rising wedge will look like this, right? So this is a rising wedge, guys. And then we also have a falling wedge, which is this, but in a downtrend, right? Coming like this. This is a falling wedge. So I'm going to show you how you can trade this. With this rising wedge, you want to catch your first entries around this level here, right? So you want to catch your entries on the third touch or the fourth touch here. This is where you want to catch your entries, right? um these are your entry number one. We call these types of entries the risk entry. These are risk entries, and we also have reduced risk entry, which is this one here, a confirmation of a breakout and retest. So when it breaks out, comes back to retest here, and then you catch an entry and it goes all the way down. We call these types of entries reduced risk entry, because now you know to say market is changing direction because it has broken out of the channel, right? So we call this type of entry reduced risk entry, and we call this one a risk entry. So you have to know how to catch both the risk entry and the reduced risk entry, right? So the one we caught on the trade I just showed you, that was a reduced risk entry. It wasn't a risk entry because I didn't catch it from the top part of the channel. I caught it around this area after it broke and came back to retest. So I caught the reduced risk entry. So I'll show you how you can catch all that on the real chart. So right now, I just want you to have an idea of what we're going to be doing when we look at the real markets, right? So for the falling wedge, you want to catch a risk entry around this level here. Let me just show you nicely. Let me move this. So yeah, you want to catch your risk entry around this touch here, which is the third touch, and you want to catch also your reduced risk entry around these retests, right? So sometimes the market will just do this, come back to retest to this and go up, or sometimes it might retest all the way here and go up. So what determines the market to come all the way here is order blocks, fair value gaps, and IFCs, right? So yeah, sometimes the market would want to just come tap in the order block around this area or the fair value gap and then shoot all the way up. So you get to learn all that as time goes by, right? So I just want you to know the entry points of the FXB2B strategy and the exit point. So usually I just target a 1:3 if I'm trading currencies. So usually I just target a 1:3 when I'm trading currencies. With synthetic indices, I target the nearest support or resistance level that I know to say the market will struggle, right? But then with currencies, I usually just target a 1:3 ratio. I'm out. So I'll get to show you all that, right? So I've decided to separate the lessons to two parts because the way I approach currencies is different from the way I approach synthetic indices. So firstly, we're going to look at how I approach currencies, and then we get to look at our approach synthetic indices also, right? So yeah, guys, as you can see right here, this is a trade that I took on gold. So let me show you how I took this trade and how I capitalized fully on this setup, right? So what I love to do when I'm trading um gold or any other pair, I love to do a top-down analysis, which I go to show you in the introduction, where I get to start from a 4-hour time frame going all the way to my 30 minutes to 15 minutes for my entry levels, right? So right here, I'm in 4-hour time frame. I'll just go to my 30 minutes so I can spot my entry levels, right? Like I said, the way I approach synthetic indices is different from the way I approach commodities, currencies, and stocks. So here, guys, let me show you how I caught these entries, and that's how I catch my entries when it comes to currencies, right? So I scroll down to my 30 minutes time frame or 15 minutes time frame, and then I put my support and resistance levels. So with currencies, I use support and resistance to catch my entries, guys. Like I always use this. I don't enter trades without support and resistance, right? So as you can see, I've put my support there. Let me just put my resistance also so you can see. So now the approach here is I'm catching either buys or sells, right? But then with the analysis here, which is a rising wedge, I'm more confident in catching sales. That's the approach here. So how I caught this one was when the market came and broke my support level here, guys. Um, I had to wait for the candle to close below my support level, which is this one here. And then I just put my entries on this level. Let me show you. So I just put my entries here and stop loss. With stop loss, I just count 3 candles after my entry. So which is this one here. And then I target a 1:3 ratio. 1:3, 1:3 here. This is 1:3. So this is exactly how I trade my currencies, guys. This is exactly how I trade my currencies. So as you can see, my 1:3 was hit easy. So let me show you another example so you can understand more, right? Let's go back in time. So I found another one just here. You see, there was another one. Let me show you how you would trade it if you learned the strategy. First, we put the trend lines here. Put the trend lines. So as you can see, I just put my trend lines here. So what I do is the same thing, guys. I put my support and resistance around this level. Support here and resistance here. So like I said, the approach is what I want to see is either a buy or a sell, right? But I'm very confident in a sell because of the rising wage. So let me show you. Yeah, let me use this.
So now the first entry you would have taken was this risk entry here, and then the second entry is this reduced entry here, right? So like I said, with the currencies, all I want to see is a breakout here. So when the market broke out here and closed below my support level, I just had to put my entries here. Let me show you. I put my entries here. Stop loss 1, 2, 3 candles here. So that's where my stop loss is. TP, like I said, target 1:3 mostly. So 1:3 was going all the way. See, so this one didn't hit a 1:3 ratio, but it gave very good profit. But then with this one, the reason why the exit point is so far away is because of this um candlestick right here. You see this big candle. Usually the candle would close around uh, this level, but then this candle went all the way down here. But then with that, sometimes I use what we call an impulse entry, right? Like when I see the momentum of the candle, I would actually even enter from around this level. Yeah, my stop loss just there. TP 1:3, like I said, it's just there. Unfortunately, this one just didn't go all the way. But in most cases, you find to say you win your trades. Trust me. Like if you want, you can just backtest for yourself and see how many trades you can be winning with this same entry uh, levels, right? So as you can see, there's another one here. I think we also took this one. So let me show you how we took this one. We took this one around this support level here before it actually even broke. So sometimes, I don't like to wait for the breakout. Sometimes, as long as I know to say the market is falling, I just put my support and resistance level. Like I said, these are my indication for my entry levels. So when I put them just like this here, as you can see here, we had a very clean fall after the breakout. So here I would have entered around this level when it broke my support level, just like this. You see, breakout there. Stops, just count 1, 2, 3 candles up here, right? TP 1:3 ratio. Just like that, I would have eaten this one, and then I would also catch this one. As you can see, there was we call this a continuation pattern. As you can see, this is a rising wedge. Also, this is a rising wedge as a continuation pattern. So you would have eaten this also easy. The same approach, guys. So I would put probably my support and resistance level here. Have you seen? So we have got a support level here, we've got a resistance level here, up here, right? So like I said, the approach is either a break to the upside or the lower side. But then in this case, you're confident in a break in the lower side because you want to see it fall because it's a rising wedge. And this was a continuation pattern. So you would have got the another entries from here. Let me show you. You would have caught entries from here after the break of this candle close outside this support, which is this candle here. And then you just count 1, 2, 3. So the third one, unfortunately, it's up here. So I'll put there. This is where my support would be slightly up there. Target 1:3 as usual. 1:3 here. So see, you'd have eaten this one as well. So these things happen all the time in the game. And another thing is you have to know the trend, right? That's why you do the top-down analysis, just for you to have a clear view of what's really happening, you see? So you have to know the trend. The trend should be your friend when you're trading. So here the market was going down. That's why you see to say almost all the trades you're taking will be eating TP, right? Because you are trading with a trend. You're not going against the trend, right? So you have to know that. Have to know that. So even here, let me show you. You would have eaten this one. You see? So now you put support and resistance, like I said. So you have your resistance level up there, and you have your support level down here, right? So you would have put your entry levels just here. Let me show you. 1, 2, 3. See here, and this 3. So this one hit our stop loss before it can actually continue the downside. Yeah. So this one would have hit our stop loss, but look at the move after that. Wonderful, amazing. So these things happen a lot in the market, guys. I can't even lie to you. Happened a lot. So, like I said, the approach is putting your support and resistance area and then waiting for a breakout and then jumping in the market. So this is the approach that I use when I'm trading synthetic. This is the approach that I use when I'm trading currencies. So let me show you in the next video the approach that I use when I'm trading synthetic indices, because it's a bit different from this one, right?